Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Tom Yoga Om. My name's Tom and today's class is just going to be a nice quick stretch to warm up into the body and to get you started for your day. So just make sure that you're comfortable. If you have some bricks or some bolsters handy, then it's always good to kind of have those around. But if you don't, that's okay. Let's get to it. Today we're going to start in a seated position. And I just want you to start to press into the edges of your feet and into the sit bone, so those two bones underneath your hips. And just get a sense that you're pressing down and that gravity is a little bit heavier as you rest in this space. Bring your hands down onto your legs, onto your thighs. Draw your chin inwards and imagine that there's a lengthening of your spine happening as you sit up a little bit taller. And then take a big breath into your belly. Big breath into your chest and exhale out of your mouth with a sigh. Let's take two more breaths like that. Good, and then keep the breath rolling in and out, but this time just breathing through your nostrils. And see if you can take the breath down into your belly and up into your chest. And exhale all of the air out. And then see if you can take the breath to those spaces again, but this time inhale into the sides of the belly and the sides of the chest as well. So just feeling the muscles and the body expand in those side spaces, in the flanks of your body. And exhaling all of the air out. Just take one more breath like that. Good, and lastly I'd like you to integrate that same breath, but just incorporate breathing into your back as well. And something that might help you is to take one hand onto your lower back, one hand onto your belly. Feel your back expand. Breathe into the space between your shoulders and exhale all the way out. And just take two more rounds of breath like that. And just use this time to really inhale and expand into the chamber of your lungs. And around that chamber of the belly, the back and the sides of your body. One more. Good, and after that next exhale, let's keep the breath rolling so that we can move and flow at the same time, breathing in. And just start to circle your shoulders as you breathe out. Feeling the shoulders massage here, one more breath. And loosening out the space around the neck as well. And then circle the other way. Keep breathing. Finding that rhythm to your breath. One more. Good. And from here, breathe it in. And as you exhale, take your hands forward and out in front of you and keep your spine nice and long and straight and just tilt from the hips, sinking down. Breathe into your belly and into that lower back as well. And exhale, as you sink, try not to curl your spine down, but try to kind of lower your belly and chest in one nice long line forward and out in front of you. Take two more breaths here. What we're doing is we're stretching into the lower back and into the hips. And so just enjoy that stretch and imagine you're relaxing those parts of your body a little more as you exhale. And after that second exhale here, I just want you to inhale, press into your hands, lift yourself up, and this time walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat. So out in front of that left knee. Keep that right hip grounded though, as you breathe into your belly, breathe into that side body as well. feel it expand. There's a little more stretch because we're twisted to the side. And as you exhale, again, tilting the body in one nice long line down rather than curling down. Right? So one nice long line down. Stretching, holding, and breathing into where you feel the stretch. And just trust that this slower movement is sometimes what we need to build a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of openness. And when you're ready, press into those hands. On an inhale, lift yourself up. Walk your hands over to the other side. Notice the difference between each side as you stretch yourself down. I've got a little bit of an injury in my lower left side, and I'm just trying to nurse it at the moment. So this side, I'm not going to come down as low, but just notice what's going on for you and adjust accordingly. And then breathe into your belly, breathe into your chest. And in one nice long line, fold yourself down over that right knee. Ooh, I'm feeling that. 2 more breaths. Focus on this last breath. Focus on the flow of the inhale, the flow of the exhale. Good, and then press into your hands, lift yourself up, and then I want you to inhale, lift your right arm up, extend up to the ceiling, ground down into that right hip again, and extend over towards the left side. And this time, we can open up into that lower belly. I want you to do that, but also start to feel the stretch in the sides of your rib and breathe into that space. Exhale, stretch. Good, inhale, lift both arms up. Stretch into that left side, the left belly, left rib cage, and exhale over. 1 breath here. That's it. Good. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And this time bring your arms back behind you and see if you can make a prayer position with your hands behind your back. I'll turn around so that you can see me, squeaky mat, like so. If you can't do that, just grip your hands together or take a hold of your elbows and lift your chest upwards, like so. Let it shine forwards. And as you exhale, can you relax your shoulders and your shoulder blades down your back? And kind of reaching those shoulder blades, reaching the shoulder blades and the elbows downwards. So stretching them down. At the same time, start to curve your chest upwards. Breathe into that space. And as you exhale, drop those shoulders down more. Keep your spine nice and tall, reaching out through the top of the head. Last breath. Nice. And slowly release your arms. Bring yourself forward onto your hands and your knees. And from here, just start to circle your shoulders over your wrists, like so. And to build a little bit of strength into our arms and to start to develop just a little bit more stability in our wrists and those muscles that help us stabilize our wrists, we're going to do a couple of little gentler push-up variations here. What I want you to do to begin with is flatten your feet out and then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and just press your back up to the ceiling. Breathe into your back. Breathe into the middle of your back if you can. Expand that space, feel the stretch, and exhale all of the air out. Reach out through the top of your head. Feel your hips drawing backwards. 1 more breath like this. Good. And on your next inhale, what we're going to do is we're going to move our shoulders forward beyond our wrists and try to keep your elbows stacked above your wrists as you lower yourself down. Keep your tailbone reaching back. And then exhale, press yourself up. Good. Inhale, lower yourself down. And exhale, press yourself back up. Reach it back up to the ceiling. Last one. Full breath in. Lowering yourself down, gripping into the hands, and exhale, pressing yourself up. Good. Now to give our hands a rest, let's bring the knees together and tuck the toes under and come back into Thunderbolt pose, Virasana. It's one of those, Thunderbolt pose. I want you to feel a stretch in the arch of your feet. If this is too much, just come forward. And see if you can extend out through the top of the head again. Take your hands to your thighs. Take 3 breaths. try to reconnect to the flow of your breath and just to feel the space that you've created from these small stretches, from this gentle warm-up. One more inhale, exhale here. Good. Now, before we stretch into the hips and the legs, just want us to open up the front body. So just bring yourself down onto your hands again. Let's flatten the feet out and rock our hands back. Lift the knees up to stretch the fronts of our legs. Nice and easy. Then drop them down. One more like that. So breathing in, lifting up. And breathing out, lowering down. And then bring yourself forward onto your hands again, and we're going to lower ourselves down onto the belly using that same technique. So moving the shoulders above and beyond the wrists and keeping the elbows above the wrists as you lower yourself down. Keep your tailbone drawing back, bring yourself down onto your chest, slide your knees out and draw your elbows and your shoulder blades back and down as you lift your chest up into your cobra. And exhale, roll down. So we're opening up the front body now. So breathing in, lifting up. We're using the back body. The muscles in the back body are contracting, but we're opening up the front body. Last one here. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice and easy. Good. Tuck your toes under. You can power up to a plank or a tabletop as you'd like. And as you exhale, bend those knees pretty generously. Come back for your first down dog. Nice. Keep your shoulders nice and broad. And just to start opening those legs up slowly, bend the knees really gently from side to side. Walking your down dog on the spot. Stretching into your lower back. And for this class, because it's a quick one, I just want you to keep a bit more movement in your down dogs. So just keep them mobile. Move the hips from side to side to stretch into the side leg. That one feels quite nice. Some people like to come up onto the tops of the feet, so you could try that and see how that feels. I feel like I need to be warmed up a little more to do that. What we're going to do from here is just ground our hands down into the floor, grip our hands down, shoulders broad. Take a big breath in, lift your hips and your heels up. Stretching into the calves, so that's the back leg. And as you exhale, ground the heels down, send your hips back. Stretching into the backs of the hamstrings, backs of the knees. Two more. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, send it back. Good. Last one here. Nice and gentle. Breathing in, lifting up. And exhale, send it back. Good. Send your left leg up. Breathing in. As you exhale, send the foot forward to the top of the mat. Good. Drop your back knees to the floor. If you've got some bricks, you can take them either side of your leg. If not, come down onto your fingers. Flatten the back foot out on the floor and just inhale, lift your chest up. As you exhale, we're dynamically stretching. We're just going to drop our hip down. Two more. Breathing in, send the hips back. And breathing out, sending them forward and down. Last one. Breathing in and out. Good. Just slowly start to move your hips from side to side, just to work out if there are any little kinks you need to be aware of. And then we're going to go from here and extend our left leg out in front of us. Point the toes just for a moment. Move the hips from side to side and breathe. If you can't feel a stretch, you can fold yourself forward, but try to keep your spine nice and long. Keep the toes pointed just for a moment. And when you're ready, I want you to pull the toes back towards you and gently sway your hips from side to side and open your hips up and your hamstrings up this way. It's a bit of a subtle stretch. This one, this half lunge, but it's a really nice one to kind of open up the legs. And sometimes it's the movement in the pose that helps us to open up in the right way. Sometimes just folding directly over the top isn't enough. Just take one more big breath in and out here. And when you're ready, you can send your hips forward again. And I just want us to do a little stretch, a little twist here before we change. Flatten a brick out on the inside of your left foot. If you don't have a brick, just use your hand and bring it straight down on the floor or on the brick. Take your left hand onto your knee and just twist to the left really gently. Send your hips back and start to grip your feet down into the floor as you lift your left arm up. And just breathe here, 3 deep breaths. When we grip down into the floor, we're creating a sense of stability. And when we're breathing here, we're breathing into a twist. And some people like to say you're massaging your organs, although that's become controversial recently because some people can't take a metaphor. But just enjoy what you feel here. I still believe that stretching and twisting is really beneficial for your body. Whether it massages the organs or not, it's not a claim that I'd put my name behind. But I believe that there is merit there somewhere. Just take a big breath in and just make up your own mind about it, right? What do you feel? And when you're ready on that exhale, you can bring that left hand down, take your bricks out in front of you. And we're going to do a 3-legged down dog now. So plant your hands down on the floor, tuck your right toes under, and on an inhale, send that left leg back and bend the knee, bringing the left foot over to the right side. So I'll show you if you don't know what that looks like. We're going to breathe in, lift up, and then bend the knee and open that foot out to the side, open the hip up. Try to lift the knee up as high as you can. Just hold here for a few breaths. 2 more. You can open it up even more if you want. And as you exhale, drop the foot down to the floor, flow forward into your plank, lower yourself down, keep those elbows above the wrists, and do your cobra. Draw those elbows and those shoulder blades down. Reach your chest forward and exhale down to the floor. Inhale up into your plank or tabletop and exhale back to down dog. Just take 3 breaths here to kind of stabilize and breathe. And as you kind of stabilize and breathe in this space, I want you to just stretch those hamstrings again, bend your knees left to right. And on your next breath in, lift your right leg up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, send it forward to the top of the mat. Drop your back knee to the ground. Flatten the back foot out on the floor. And from here, inhale, send your hips back. And as you exhale, send your hips forward. Let your chest shine through. Let's take 2 more breaths like that. And try to keep your shoulders and your shoulder blades down and out of your neck. And the reason why we say this is we don't want the shoulders and the neck muscles to cramp up into the neck to engage there. We do that so much by sitting at desks and reaching for things, right? So if we can relax them, we can disengage this kind of connection here that's often quite jarring and tight. And just learn to soften and move without utilizing that kind of bad habit. Let's take 1 more round of breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And when you're ready, you can take those bricks if you've got some. If you don't, that's fine. Just lift yourself up to this vertical position. Straighten that right foot out and point the toes for now. Or straighten the leg and point the toes. If you've got the bricks, take them either side of your knee. If you don't, you can take your hands onto your thigh. And what we're looking for is a nice stretch. And we also build a little bit of stability in those smaller muscles that keep us stable when we move our hips from side to side. Right, so they've got a kind of fire to keep you balanced. So if you're falling a little more to this side, for example, the muscles on the opposite side are going to contract. They're going to draw in to kind of try and bring you back to center. By swaying from side to side, we're engaging that a little bit. When we bring our hands there, maybe less so. But there's that other benefit of, like, you might find there's a really nice stretch on the inside of the leg or the outside of the leg, and by moving those hips you find it, you discover it. Alrighty, when you're ready, pull those toes back towards you, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, fold yourself forward, keep swaying those hips. Take 3 deep breaths. Good job. And when you're ready, after that exhale, bend that front knee, bring your hips forward. Again, you could flatten the brick out on the inside of the foot. If you don't have it, plant your left hand down on the floor. And from here, take your right hand onto your knee and start gripping down into your mat so that when you twist, you feel nice and stable and strong. You look up to that right side, maybe lift your right arm up and take 3 deep breaths here. How does this twist feel for you? How does it change your breathing, and how does your body feel as a result? After that 3rd exhale, drop your right hand down and move the bricks out of your way if they're still there. Coming up to that 3-legged down dog before we wind down. So plant your hands down on the floor, swing your right leg back up and grip into the mat with those hands. Bend the right knee and bring that right foot over to the left side of your body. Just hold here for 3 breaths. Find the stretch, lift the knee, and you might even circle the knee to find that stretch that feels good for you, that helps you feel like you're working in a way that's right for your body. One more breath here. Good, and after that exhale, drop your feet down to the floor. Roll your back forward into a plank. Roll your back forward. And move those shoulders beyond the wrists before you lower yourself down. Plant your feet down into the floor. Inhale into your cobra, just a little one. And exhale to lower down. Good. Tuck your toes under. Power up into a plank. And as you exhale, meet in downward facing dog. I've got one last little stretch here to kind of wrap the class up. I would like you to please roll yourselves forward onto your knees, cross your ankles over and come onto your back. Nice. And then plant your hands on the floor, slide your hips towards your heels and come all the way down onto your back. And for this, we've got 2 more stretches rather, but they're quite straightforward and in the same vein kind of, in that we're affecting the hips and the legs. I want you to take your hands beside you, fingertips touching your heels, and really stretch your arms as long as you can and bring your heels to the edges of your fingertips. Good. And then from there, walk your feet a little further towards the top of your mat so that your fingers and your heels aren't touching. There's a little bit of space. And then I'd like you to take a big breath in, a full breath out, and after the exhale, I want you to lift your tailbone, which is the lowest part of your spine, and reach it forward. So you're reaching it towards your feet and slowly rolling your hips up off the floor, feeling each vertebrae lift up off the mat, and just press into your heels as you do this. Keep your lowest rib on the floor. So it's a little lift and we're really just engaging the glutes. Notice how your knees open up, so squeeze them together. So you're engaging a lot of the muscles on the insides of your legs. You can lift the toes off the floor if you want, but I want you to keep those glutes engaged. Keep the tailbone reaching forward. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to roll the spine back down on the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep those knees squeezing in towards one another. See if you can feel each vertebrae stamping down onto your mat. Good. And then really, really gently, please, draw your knees in, but just be really careful not to overstretch. So just a little draw in. Good. Drop your left foot to the floor. So this is the last stretch. Right ankle comes onto the left knee. And draw your left leg in. Take 3 deep breaths. Feeling the stretch in the outside of the leg. One more. And then release those legs down to the ground and just change sides. Oh, I feel it in this left side. Something else you could try here if you want something a bit more dynamic is you could lift that right leg up to a point where you feel your hamstring is just on the edge of a stretch. Once you feel it is, just hold there. Try and point the toes. See if you can lift up a little higher to bring a new edge of the stretch to your body. All right. And then from that position, try and gently draw your toes back and just feel your hamstring extending. But remember, we're not here to overstretch, so be really gentle. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. A little bit longer on this side. Last one. Good. Gently drop your legs down onto the floor and just keep your knees bent for now. Let your lower back settle. Bring your arms beside you and let your knees drop inwards as you come to rest. We're just going to close this class with 5 deep breaths in and out. So find your flow again. Notice how your body feels as it rests here. If you've got some unwanted tension, take some sighs out of your mouth. And otherwise, just enjoy how your breath is feeling, how your body feels with that breath. It feels particularly lovely to breathe right now for me. I hope it feels the same for you. I'm going to take 3 final breaths, and this time we're going to finish the class off the same way we started. I want you to breathe into not only the front of your belly and your chest, also the sides and the back. So just take 3 breaths in that manner. So fully expanding and relaxing. And a space that I often kind of don't think or don't feel to breathe into is the middle part of my body, so at that lowest rib cage. So see if you can find that space too, breathing into the front of that middle body, the sides of that middle body and the back of that middle body, as well as the rest of your body. You feel the difference there? Take 1 last breath. And when you're ready, just wriggle your fingers and your toes. If you want to take a stretch, you can. And then bring yourself to a nice, comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Just make yourself comfortable. Bring your hands to your thighs. Take a nice deep breath in and out. I hope this class has brought you some opening in your body and has you feeling good for the rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me today, and if you enjoyed the class, please subscribe to the channel. Press the like button, tell your friends, leave me a review. All of that kind of stuff helps. It's been lovely having you here today. Thank you again. Namaste.